Hello, Moon Tribe. Welcome to Moonflower Tarot. Before I begin, I just want to remind you that I now have an Etsy page where you can get personal email readings from me, and the link to that Etsy page is in the description box below. So without further ado, let's begin. So, usually I do pick-a-card readings on my channel, but tonight I wanted to do a flip-through of this very charming oracle deck called the Earthbound Oracle, and it comes in this box. It is a 48-card oracle divination deck. So the Earthbound Oracle is a practical, down-to-earth deck containing familiar and pithy subject matter that is simple to understand, yet complex enough from which to derive multiple meanings for many unique situations. And I believe the publisher is, it's created by A.L. Swartz and sold on skullgarden.net. Maybe that's the publishing company, I'm not quite sure, but so yeah, I ordered this on Etsy. This is what the back looks like. As you can see, it's quite clear and sort of soft. If you look really closely, you can see that this is actually not white like the crescent moons. They're actually like a wood sort of color. It's almost like the color of, like, I think oak or something. But yeah, let's go ahead and get straight into the flip through. So these are actually, they don't come with a book, like a little white book, per usual. They do come with keywords though, but I do like that they don't come with a little white book, so that the reader has to sort of assign their own intuitive, not meanings, but their intuitive sort of like depth to the cards, which I think is kind of charming in its own way. So here we have ceremony. I like the balance between the black and white candles, and also there's a sunrise in the back, which somehow speaks to me for sure when it comes to ceremony, or the idea of a ceremony. Healing. And then we have Arcana. I like how mysterious this looks for sure, and I like how there's these elements from nature and earth incorporated into the cards, and there is quite a bit of white space, but what I like about this is that there's not too much. It's proportional to the images in the center, and also the white space, or we would call white space, is actually the color of wood, like an oaky sort of color, which I really like as well. It's like the natural colors of the earth, which I really, really, really love. And then we have transformation. So yeah, the caterpillar turning into the butterfly. Wisdom. I think this is one of my favorite cards, the Wisdom card with the crow. That book could also be maybe like a grimoire, or book of shadows, depending on, or maybe just a diary or journal or some very old book. Here we have time. Ooh, I really love this. And then you have astrological symbols surrounding the hourglass at the top. Luck. If I have to be really frank, this is one of my least favorite cards in the deck, just because, you know, I have a really close bond with animals, and I'm kind of sensitive to things like this, but I can see, you know, the earthiness of it. I can see, you know, sort of the, you know, what the artist was going for there. Next we have failure. This is actually quite beautiful. The moth, even, you know, an image depicting failure can be quite beautiful. And for me, when I look at this, I don't really see loss. I mean, I see loss, but temporary loss. You know, I see a lot of potential in this as well. Almost reminds me of like ashes before, you know, the embers spark and then, you know, turn into a flame. Maybe even creating a phoenix. We have resistance. It's really straightforward. Terra, which means land. I believe it means land in a lot of Latin languages. Is this Latin? I'm not sure. You could comment down below if you know, but I do know that it means land in, I believe, Spanish and I think Italian. I'm not sure, but yeah, I really like this imagery. It's very like fertile, earthy water. Yeah, there's a lotus at the bottom. This is really straightforward. I love when decks, any kind of oracle or cartomancy or intuitive decks have elements in them. Just really like adds to the earthiness of them, the earthy feel. Next we have voice. I really love this. So yeah, it's a wolf. There's some like Native American vibes from this as well. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but definitely getting some of that from this. Or maybe even may not be necessarily Native American. It could be maybe like Norse as well. Not sure. Ugh, this is also one of my favorites, the compass. We have guide. Just really, really, it's really aesthetic, I have to say, this deck. Cycle. We have the phases of the moon at the top. I think this involves some mythology as well, with the serpent eating its own tail. And then there are some wings at the top as well. Interesting. We have creativity, beautiful colors with this one, but still earthy, you know, not too much. Still very earthy, natural sort of colors, but this one's definitely more on the vibrant side. Wow. Just really beautiful colors. It's vibrant, but still not straying from like the earthiness, which I really love, that balance between vibrant and earthy here, which is, I think, kind of difficult to achieve actually. Here we have vision, and there's an owl holding an amethyst crystal. I think that's amethyst. So amethyst crystals usually symbolize healing. And then we have life. Wow. All I can really say is wow. I mean, it almost looks like a bean, or like a seed. I don't know why I said bean. I guess also like a bean sprout or something, but a seed plant. But at the same time, yeah, it looks biological as well. I mean, when it comes to like human biology, you can kind of see that too, which is, I really love how that sort of ties in together. Death. This is also really aesthetically pleasing though, I have to say. I don't really get very scorpionic vibes from this though. Not like the death card in tarot. It's a different vibe and I kind of like that. You know, I like variety in my cartomancy decks. Actually, I you know, love it. I think I kind of thrive on that a little more because I like to you know, learn from like different styles and different types of art, different you know, historical periods of art. I just find it really robust and enriching when it's diverse. And then we have reflect. So this is, you know, pretty simple, straightforward. And then we have permanence. This is also one of my favorites. And also one of my favorite phrases or proverbs is the pen is mightier than the sword, and this also kind of reminds me of that as well. Yeah, I mean, because if you think about it, the sword cuts through things, and it, causes harm, it causes injury, but when it comes to ink or the pen, I mean, these are things that can be passed down from generation to generation. Books have a plethora of knowledge that, lives on forever sometimes, and then even gets interpreted and passed on and expanded into various other works. And I don't know, I find something about this really beautiful, and it kind of just sparks my my thoughts when it comes to that kind of thing. We have bond, so here's an atom, and then there's an acorn in the middle. God, I really love how this deck, more than anything, really combines not just like vibrant colors with earthy elements, but also, like this kind of like biological or like sciencey sort of elements with more of like a mythical vibe as well, which I really love that. And it works together really well. Here we have message. I love that there's like a crescent moon in the seal, like the wax seal there. I think that getting this card in a reading would make me excited. I don't know about you guys, but it just, something about it that's just exciting. Next we have labor. So yeah, honeybees. Taking from nature once again, like that. Balance. This definitely reminds me of Taurus and Libra. The balance of Libra, the airy elements are there with the wings, and then Taurus with the deer antlers. So yeah, and then there's a little spider web in the very middle of the antlers. Interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of Venusian energy coming from this, just looking at it. Also, the face kind of reminds me of Avatar, like the characters from the movie Avatar. Next we have perseverance. So this kind of brings me back to the fish card in the Lenormand, the French cartomancy system that I think it originated in Napoleonic France. But the fish card in that cartomancy system means prosperity. So it kind of ties in together actually with that, with perseverance, meaning, payoff, like that kind of thing, or investments made over like a long period of time, which could also translate to, perseverance. Then we have the air element. Lovely colors, really, I just love this. It almost kind of reminds me of opal as well, or like a seashell, even though it's air. It's really pretty. Fear. So at first glance is a little cloying to the eyes, but then if you look closer, it's actually kind of comforting knowing that, in this case, fear is just an illusion, which in a lot of cases it is. Sometimes it's just an illusion, and something about that is kind of comforting, right? Next we have sleep. I really love this, it's a bear in the womb hibernating. There's some earthy elements about this, and also once again like an element of human biology. I mean, it definitely looks like a womb or like a fetus kind of. Next we have abundance. Yeah, so this kind of reminds me of a human heart, but obviously it's a pomegranate, but it kind of like mixes those elements together, and it's actually really quite beautiful, because if you think about it, human anatomy is just, it's just nature, and like, the inside of this fruit is also from nature, and something about those, those kind of elements coming together, it works really well in art, because it's natural. Oh, I think I accidentally dropped a card. Next we have release. think that's a calla lily, I believe. We have intuition. Ooh, I really like this. It's so cute. Yeah. I've personally never delved into Ouija boards because I'm a scaredy cat, but I'm not gonna lie, I've definitely dabbled in it before for fun, but I don't really go into that too deeply because, yeah, I'm kind of a scaredy cat. So, but I really love this. It's very, very charming. Next we have soul, so the sun. I'm also getting some fiery elements. So right when I look at this, I think of Leo, obviously. I also kind of see, yeah, fire signs in general, like Aries, Sag. I really love how this deck, it's just up to like your own interpretation, you know, of the cards. Thus, there is no guidebook, and I really like that about this. It's unique, it's charming. Here's wealth. So I think that these are amethysts. It could be like garnet or rubies. That's more like the color of garnet, I think. I'm not sure, but it's like this rich, like almost like the color of wine. And there's like these little beads here. Almost looks like fish roe. I promise I'm not hungry, you guys. I'm not thinking of sushi, but this does kind of remind me of fish roe a little bit. But, you know, that's interesting because that would also kind of tie in with the symbolism of, you know, abundance, prosperity, because, you know, it's, I guess, reproduction, eggs, that kind of thing. Then we have simplicity. Yeah, simplicity, kind of like, it's like the reverse of the backs when it comes to the colors, and the reversal of the wood with the black. But yeah, like it. It's visually pleasing, even in its simplicity. We have protect. So this is a more complex card, protect. I analyze that later, but yeah, I see like, it's almost like, I also see kind of like, not an anchor, but like, yeah, definitely this vibe that this is like an old form of protection. Like something that's been cemented in place for quite a while. And that's the strongest form of protection, isn't it? Like a really strong foundation. A form of protection built on like a really strong foundation. So we have obfuscate. So yeah, there's another card in here that's opposite of this. It'll probably pop up later, but yeah, eyes closed, candles are out. We have self. So once again, incorporating the human heart or human biology with more of like this earthy sort of colors, earthy elements, and you can see like the vessels, they kind of look like tree branches. You know, if anything, I don't want to get too like deep or like, you know, figurative or whatever, but I really love how this card reminds me that humans are really just, you know, a part of nature, just like everything else, just like flowers, trees, animals. Like we're all, you know, we all come from the earth. So if anything, I think that this card deck, because of that, because of the imagery and the sort of intuitive messaging that I get from it, I mean for myself, because we all have a different experience with different images and decks, I think this deck really helps me to feel grounded, because it reminds me that, you know, we are like just a small part of what is the earth, what is, you know, the universe at large. And it's a very calming feeling. So I appreciate that. Next we have toxic. So it's interesting, you know, with this is that it looks so vibrant, it looks so beautiful, but at the same time, something that looks beautiful and enticing on the surface could also be very, very poisonous, like mushrooms, for example. And there's these triangles here. I'm not really sure what that means, but I could really get lost in these images. I mean, looks so simple, but I swear, like, you could analyze it in like a gazillion different ways, just like any type of art, really. And depending on the person interpreting it, you know, it's always going to be different. Then we have growth. Actually, I really like this image. It's interesting that it's growth in an enclosed space. Probably has its own sort of meaning, but I need to stare at it more. Here we have Earth. Once again, you know, combining sort of anatomical elements with the Earth. Really love that. And then, you know, the symbol as well. Home. So this once again kind of reminds me that, you know, we are not islands on this earth or the universe at large. Like, we're all connected in a community of sorts. Even this bird, you know. I don't know, others may look at the bird and maybe call it a parasite, but some people may see like sort of a collaborative relationship here, which is more what I see, you know. Like all living things, to some certain extent. I mean, we all have kind of a collaborative relationship with each other because we do cohabitate on this earth and in this universe. So that's kind of interesting to think about. Then here we have gift. So the apple. Yeah, I like how, you know, the imagery of, this kind of reminds me of Snow White and the poison apple. Like, a gift can be great, and then you have the seeds. A lot of things could grow from a gift or come out of a gift or branch out from a gift. However, the gift could also be poisonous depending on, you know, who gives it to you, what kind of gift, and the circumstances. So that's kind of interesting. Next we have travel. This is really aesthetically pleasing. We have a monarch butterfly. Deceit. Yeah. They're so intertwined, entangled that, you know, it's almost like when it comes to lies, I think when somebody lies about something, or like a deceitful person, it's like sometimes they lie and the lies just become so entangled and pile on top of each other, and so you kind of forget like what's real and what's not, you know, like that kind of thing. So I definitely see that in this card. Fire. Ooh, beautiful. And then we have what almost looks like a ruby at the top. It also kind of reminds me of a volcano as well. And for some reason, not to get like too analytical, but for some reason I see like Mars, so like Aries, I see Scorpio in this too. Interesting. And as you might know, Mars does traditionally rule Aries and Scorpio. Next we have illuminate. So yeah, this is the opposite of that previous card. I think it was obfuscate, but this is the opposite of it. So the eye is open, clear. There's illumination via candles. This is also one of my favorites. It's just mysterious in a way that, I don't know, it just draws you in. It's very magnetic, this image. Next we have achievement. What I really love about this achievement card is that it kind of reminds me of the Mountain card and the Lenormand, which usually means obstacle. But in this case, it's positive because after the obstacle comes fill in the blank, which is achievement. And I really like how this just reminds you that achievement doesn't just come with, you know, the snap of a finger or the blink of an eye. I mean, you have to really put in the work and climb that mountain in order to get to that achievement at the very top, to reap the fruits of your labor. And also this kind of reminds me of Capricorn as well, you know, the mountain goat climbing its way up the mountain. So yeah, I'm definitely seeing some astrology in here, but that could be my own sort of interpretation because once again, we all see something different. Next we have Luna, the moon. Yeah, it's like this sort of silvery gray color. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to flip through this again and then try to interpret again because I know that usually when it comes to me anyway, when I look at an oracle deck or any kind of, you know, tarot, Lenormand, whatever kind of deck it is, I always see something different, especially when I put it away for a little bit and then take it out again for a reading. I always end up seeing something that I didn't see before. And that's why I love cartomancy in general and just oracle, tarot, you know, Lenormand decks. Whatever kind of deck in general, just any kind of art as well, because it's just so mysterious and you could interpret it in like a gazillion ways, as you can see. So yeah, that was the Earthbound Oracle once again. And I believe this creator has another oracle deck out there. I think it's called the wooden, or not oracle, but a tarot deck out there that's somewhat similar in its imagery, but it's a little different. Might want to check that out. I believe it's called the Wooden Tarot, and it's by the same skullgarden.net. I think that's or Skull Garden, I think that's who they are. So yeah, that was the Earthbound Oracle for you. I hope you enjoyed, and yeah, like, comment, subscribe, share if this resonated with you. And once again, I want to remind you again that I have an Etsy page now where you can get personal email readings from me. And I will definitely be using this deck for future pick-a-card readings on my channel as well. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye.